Okay, we're starting off with a debate about sex ed. New Brunswick Premier Blaine Higgs says he'll ban a sex education group from high schools after what he calls inappropriate material was shown in an HPV presentation. So specifically this slide that includes common questions like, is it normal to watch porn like people watch TV? It's blurred here in case there are any children watching, because there's some other things that maybe aren't great for daytime television. So besides just this being like really terrible graphic design, Carly, do you feel this is inappropriate for high school kids?
Well, I'm personally affronted by the Comic Sans, yes. But, like,
thank you.
What are we doing? Listen, I understand that talking about sex is like, it can be uncomfortable. I haven't been in high school in a while, but kids are going to do it regardless of if they are educated, you know? And we have syphilis rates on the rise. And it's like, okay, Victorian era, I guess. So we need to teach people how to have safe sex and how to understand their bodies, because they're gonna do it anyway, right?
Here is Blaine Higgs is a man of a particular age from a particular time, and it sounds like his conservative mindset is what's coming forward. And you're absolutely right. I got the sex talk when I was 9, and none of my friends, zero, not one of my friends got the sex talk. But you know what we all did? We all ended up having sex anyways, right? So everybody's gonna end up doing it. And I think what he also missed the mark is this Quebec-based group did not just come up with these questions on their own. This is what the high school students wanted to know about. And that's where he misses. Like, you may not like it, but these are the questions that the kids are asking right now. So you do have to have them in a safe space with their peers and an educator giving them the answer to those questions.
Okay, but wait a minute. Because I'm a sex educator, and I think that while I think it is so important, all the things, all the reasons, you sort of said it off the top, but the graphic design does matter in this case. Because here's the thing, that graphic design is terrible. And one of the images, I don't know if you noticed, is part of their logo. It's like low-key sexist. It's a picture of a woman's lips where she's about to have a sucker in her mouth. It's giving 80s bad hair metal album cover, okay? You see that again. You see that? And the reason why I point this out, besides the Comic Sans and besides the bad layout of the series, it's that I want to know that the sex educator that's talking to my child has as much consideration in the details about everything that goes into this presentation. And to me, this is right out of the gate.
You're right. The quality of the educator is great, but what Blaine Higgs is saying is he doesn't want this conversation to happen at all.
Yeah, that's problematic. I'm gonna throw Higgs a bone. Because listen, I wonder if it was a communication breakdown, because the school was expecting a talk about HPV. And what he got were some of those questions that we can't actually show you. It kind of reminds me like if you're promised something for dinner, like you're having pizza for dinner. And if you got tacos, okay, that's fine. But if you got salad, you'd be really mad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You'd be like,
you don't want to toss salad.
I think but like in this metaphor, the salad gives you syphilis.
But they probably have to prepare the parents for having that conversation. So I imagine there would be a lot of parents who would want a heads up. We can't even say some of the things on daytime TV. So if we can't say them on daytime TV, I'm sure a parent of a grade 9er would want to know, hey, just give me a heads up that you're talking about.
And here's a heads up for the parents who are very conservative. I understand where they're coming from, but statistically, children who have information about sex are less likely to have sex right away because they have that information.
For sure.
So keep that in mind when you're like, no.
That some information, I did a deep dive and I went on their website and I did find that there is some good information. A lot of it doesn't come from the actual, like they've grabbed stuff from YouTube that is actually pretty good. But I want to know, like, not like therapists, not all sex educators are created equal. And so I think to make the assumption that there's always going to be good, I watched the presentation that this woman did on HPV. She did a TED Talk, and I found certain parts of it a little bit lacking. And so I think the thing is it does go back to this, finding this balance. We need better sex educators. We need to know what their credentials are. We need to know how they speak to kids. Because my approach, and I think this should be our approach, is to let the kids lead. To let with their questions lead, not make it. And I know she said,
wait a second, but it also goes back to, do I need a politician in my bedroom to tell me what I should and shouldn't know?
Good question.
I'd say no, thank you.
No. Good question.
No. Right? And I've seen his picture. I don't have faith in what's going on.
Fair enough.
Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.